everybody, CW here. Let's talk a little about 1022s. We had some fun the other day. You probably saw the video or the clips of the videos, or some of you probably did. I put up a couple of, I threw up some raw footage from a range trip with my girlfriend, who was at her first time shooting rifles ever. Started her out with a pellet pistol, went to the range a couple times, went over all the rules and all the safety, got that, time and time again. We did it over and over again. We went to the range and shot a 22 pistol. She watched a couple of my matches, pistol matches. We've been watching lots of videos, different training, different safety aspects, really getting the safety aspect drilled in, because she's brand new to firearms. And took her out on steel with rimfires, and she had a blast. She was shooting from about 15 yards with 22 pistols, 25 yards, 35 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards, 75 yards, 100 yards, and 265 or 3 or whatever it is, yards with the 22 rimfire. And about 2 years ago, I knew I was going to pick up a suppressor. So I started threading things. Anything I thought I might want to play with suppressed, I either bought that rifle threaded, or I had that barrel threaded, or I changed out the barrel to get a threaded barrel. You know the deal. And this is one that I didn't do. Couple of reasons. Threading a barrel around here is better than 100 bean sprouts. Most places will do it for 100, 125 bean sprouts. I've got a couple of places online that I can go that are cheaper, but you got to throw in shipping both ways. So you got to ship it out there for, $30, $40. Ship it back for $25, $30. So you add it up, and yeah, you only spent $75 on the threading, but you spent almost the same for shipping. So I just didn't do it. I have 3 1022s. I have a takedown. I have a lightweight with a kid barrel on it. Both are threaded. This is my heavy, I call it my heavy target. Not much factory stock remaining. Receiver is, I think this is a BX. No, this is an old metal with new parts in it. It's just not much factory stuff left in it. Obviously, you see the stock. This barrel is a 20-inch match. I forget who makes it. Off the top of my head right now. And it's a great barrel. It's real accurate. No problem with any accuracy that I need. Match chamber, Kurtz short chamber, match chamber. But it's not threaded. And I thought about getting it threaded. But like I said, you can buy barrels today. You can spend 500 beans on a barrel for a 1022. But you can get a good barrel for 200 to 300 bean sprouts. You can get a really good barrel that's as good as probably 90% of the people out there need. You hunt around, you can find specials and deals and sales that'll get you under 2 for a darn good barrel. So I just can't see putting an extra $100 into what's probably $150 or $180 barrel when I can buy a brand new barrel for that same 180-ish and then sell this one for 100, and I'll be into that first one for, a lot less. It just didn't make sense for me to thread this. So that's pretty much what this video is about. She didn't shoot this exact rifle. She shot my lightweight with a red dot on it. And she shot that out to 100 yards and never missed a 6-inch plate. Now you'll say, oh, a 6-inch plate, that's not a big deal. 6 inches at 100 yards? Excuse me. Number one, she's never done it before. Never, ever done it before. Number two, that's a red dot with a long rifle. I mean, Most of us can probably do it, yeah, but this is her first time ever. I was very, 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 very happy, very pleased, and very proud because what she knows about firearms came from me teaching her. So I'm very proud of her. We shot a Smith & Wesson 2245, and she shot 3-inch targets at 75 and 35, and she was doing really well, smacking them really well. To her credit, I did not bring the ammo that was sighted in with. I had mostly all subsonic standard velocity stuff. That's sighted for high velocity because I use it on plates and pins. And they're kind of finicky with standard velocity stuff. You need a little more oomph to make sure they work and run good. So I think I had it sighted for either the bulk Winchester or the bulk Remington Golden. I don't remember which one, but I got a bunch of both of those, and it's probably the Goldens if I had to guess. But I didn't bring them, so I used Ely Force, I think it was, which is a high velocity semi-auto ammo, and it shot low. It shot high. So she had to aim at the bottom of the 3-inch plate at 35 yards, almost off the plate to hit it. And she was smacking it, smack, 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 smack every time she'd shoot. So really, really good. And then we moved out to 260 yards with the Ruger Precision, suppressed because we were alone on the range and we could talk and I could give her instructions. And she missed the first shot. She connected on the second and on the third on a 8-inch plate at 260 yards. And then she missed for all the rest of the bullets in the magazine. And I just chalked it up to, she's a new shooter and whatever. But I went back and checked because she said to me, I was on. I did everything you said. How did I miss? I did everything you said. And I went back, I put a bullet in the gun, closed the bolt, took a shot, and I missed. I put another one in, aimed real careful, really, really careful, touched the trigger, I missed. So I think the suppressor got warm and I think it was throwing shots. Again, I had never shot the suppressor through that gun. It was 260 yards, 265 yards. I did notice a little bit of a shift in the Hornet. When it gets hot, it would shoot about a 1/2 inch high. So 1/2 inch high at 50, multiplied out to 260, understandable. Plus, it was getting dirty. There was probably pushing 2,000 rounds through that suppressor. Maybe not quite that much, 1,700, maybe 1,600. So it was getting dirty. So I'm blaming that because I set it up, I sighted it in, and I smacked that 8-inch steel like 6-7 times in a row. And then I sat her down with the gun and I let her shoot. So, it had 20 shots through it, and a suppressor probably got warm, and that's what set her off. Anyway, what we're talking about here is this gun. I talked all about the last video. Actually, I talked about what we did. That video is coming out on November 13th. I'm not sure when this is going to post. That may post before this, so you may have already know all about that. But so what I decided to do was buy a new barrel here. Long story short, as I'm 9 minutes in, and I'm just telling you what the video is about. I decided to buy a new barrel. Tried to buy a barrel from a slow twist barrel from Brown, E.A. Brown, Arthur Brown, E.A. Brown and Company. And I placed the order. It was a pretty good price. Really wanted to try these. I got a whole bunch of these. This is older, but super subsonic. If you don't know what these are a 60 grain bullet. You see that? Zoom in here. 60 grain bullet. It uses a short case and a really long bullet. So they don't stabilize in most 1 in 16 twist barrels. So I was going to get that 1 in 9 from E. Arthur Brown, which will still shoot the other ones fine. It'll still shoot, you know, regular ammo fine. Optimized for this stuff. And suppressed, this can be dynamite. This is what I'm doing in the K Hornet. It's a 65 grain bullet at 1,000 feet per second. This is a 60 grain in a long rifle at the same 900-ish feet per second. So really, really good subsonic if it's accurate. Anyway, they wouldn't ship to New York. Well, I'm not in New York. I sent them an email back. They say, oh, we're sorry, but we're not shipping. We already canceled your order, refunded your money, yada, yada, yada. So I kind of got a bad taste, and I said, you know, I understand it's lawyers, and I understand it's the way things are today, but, you know, no, I'm done. You had your chance. Faxon. Midway had them on sale. This is a match something or other. Well, I forgot the name of this one. It doesn't say it on here, does it? 18.5 416R match heavy flame fluted barrel, stainless steel with a black armor coat. I haven't even opened it yet. I opened the package and I haven't done anything else. So let's see what we got here. I really like these. These come on a lot of barrels, and they work really good. Work really good. It's like Chinese fingers, but they do really good at keeping your barrel protected. They're not the easiest thing to get off. Okay, there's our threading. Half 28. Nice, nice, nice. I've got an adapter coming. I use 4-lug adapters for my suppressor. And it's got this flame fluting, they call it. I don't know. I was fine with no fluting at all. But whatever. And Faxon 22 long rifle. Now what I couldn't find anywhere on their site, online, I found people asking the question, but I couldn't find anywhere to say if it was a match chamber. I could not find it. So let's see. I got some ammo here. Yeah, I got some ammo here. This is resized. I hope it goes in the gun. It may not even go in the barrel. If it's a match chamber, this is not even going to go in the barrel. This is resized on my tool. Yeah, see, it won't even go in the... So it is a match barrel. It won't even go in. So it is a match chamber. Okay, that answers my question. Let me get a regular case. Stand by. Okay, this should be a long range, SK long range. And it goes in almost all the way. And you see it's not all the way in. And that's because it gets pushed into the rifling. It gets pushed into the rifling. And that would be a Kurtz or a match chamber. If you push it all the way in, it'll go, but that's what a match chamber is. Usually it grabs a little bit more, so it may not be a regular Kurtz chamber. But, and it's kind of dirty. Let me run a rod through here, and then we'll get this apart and get this on. All right, I got her all apart, ready to put the new barrel on, and she's too tight. So I'm going to have to freeze this. I'm going to have to freeze this barrel. It's going to pick me up a little bit of shrinkage, and then I'll warm this. This will expand. Should be just enough to get this to go on. It's just a little bit tight. And you want it tight. You know, you want it tight. You want it snug. That's going to be a really good fit. That's the mark of a better barrel. So let's come back to this tomorrow after this spends the night in the freezer. Stay tuned. Be a minute for you. Alrighty. Not much problem once I got that cool. I put a little heat from a heat gun on the receiver. Took that out of the freezer from all night. And there it is. Got rid of that rubber O-ring from the muzzle here. I'm just waiting for the part. Should be in a couple days for the tri-comp. I'm sorry, the quad link. And there we go. So we'll get this out on the range and we'll see how she shoots. Anybody know for sure? Comment down below about match chambers. I believe it is based on, what I tried and saw here, but I don't know. They don't say. I looked all over Faxon website. They don't say. I saw a couple people ask the question. It is called a match barrel. I don't see how it can be a match barrel without a match chamber. That's what makes it match, right? Closer tolerances in the barrel itself, in the rifling, and in the chamber. So, I don't know. Let me know. But there we go. God bless everybody. CW out.